I'm ready.
I am resident of Collowood for YouTube Jules Sains. That is Vickie Ray. That is Tom Diamond. We're here to review the Time Tunnel, uh, which you have the Tony and Doug are in World War II. They're on an island where a Japanese scout is looking out at
Not
boats.
far from Iwo Jima.
Yep, not far from Iwo Jima. And so they, and just like the theme of the show, they get captured. Quick,
Of
not as
course.
quickly though. So, oh,
Doug shows some balls in this one, though.
yeah, yeah. I actually like how, because they do tend to fight back in a lot of these episodes.
They
I
do.
like, I do love most of all about this episode the psychology behind it, because the remake of Godzilla took
Yeah.
some of the, I'm not saying they specifically took from here, but they took some of the concept from what this episode was
Are you
and applied
talking
it to
about the latest Godzilla, the really
yeah,
cool one from Toho Productions? That was so
y-
badass. It wasn't even funny. Yeah, that one.
yeah, yeah. They sort of took some of this story plot and applied it to their movie, where a World War II kamikaze pilot could not commit suicide. He couldn't do it. He goes back to
That's
base.
right. That's right.
So I like
That's
the
right. Gosh,
psychology
I
here.
totally forgot about that. You're right.
Yeah, I like the psychology of this episode. What did you guys think?
I liked the episode very much. I think that Mako stole the show.
I love him.
As far as I'm concerned,
Brilliant actor.
he was really really good, and really gave our two boys a rough time.
Yeah.
And
They
Tony
called
and
him Joe. Like they all used to guess that's what they used to call them all the time was Joe.
yeah, and you were telling me he passed away in 2006, Mako.
2006. Yeah. Well, I mean, he showed up in a lot. God, I don't. He had so many movies to his credit.
He did a lot of work in the 60s, and this was certainly part of it. And I think that was real Japanese he was using. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but I think that was
Sounded
real.
like to me.
Yeah, with the and who do you have? Is that a new addition to the show, Jewel? He looks
What is that?
he looks like he
It's a
just
big
came from a
bird.
time tunnel himself. There he is. There he is. That's a good. That's
What do you guys think of the father just happened to be there, thinking his son was dead all those years and committed? And I guess he was a here. No,
well.
not
There's the
Harry.
rub. The
Well,
same
no, he
name,
was a kamikaze pilot that didn't do his job.
right?
Yeah,
So
Right.
So he apparently found himself. I mean, you got to sit back. It's all cultural, and I know it's tribal as well. But the father's like, God, you had to wonder. It's just like, God, geez, Dad, could you have some emotion there? Oh, he failed us because he didn't, do what he was supposed to. They used to like, what is it? My father told me because he knew all war and stuff, but he would tell me that they would drink and eat, and they're pretty pickled when they got in those planes. You'd have to
Oh
get me
God.
pickled to crash one of them suckers. That's for sure.
Well, but wouldn't you think that they would have questioned right away that both their last names were the same? The
Yeah,
son
yeah,
is Nakamura. The father's name is Nakamura, but
yeah.
nobody apparently caught on to that, and
Well,
nobody
isn't the
asked.
time tunnel top secrets? Like every Tom, Dick, and Harry just comes in there whenever they want.
well, well, they didn't in this episode. The when the Japanese soldier comes to the time tunnel, when he comes to the base and stuff, that they say who are the two soldiers on the island? He's like, no, there was only one.
Right.
So when they show
Ah,
it's his
yeah, yeah, yeah.
son,
I
he's like,
thought the father
he
was going to go in the time tunnel to go
Yeah,
back
yeah,
to
the
he
being
was
his
father
son.
shot.
was
That's
nuts.
what I was thinking. They were going to go with it, and that just didn't, take off in that direction. But I
Yeah,
would have. It was my son, but I'm a
It would have
girl.
been interesting if they had let the father go back to but that would be that would be complicating issues if they let the father go back to that point in time where his younger self was still there.
He also they initially tried to get to the radio station nearby to warn. They were trying to location nearby Navy ships. Weren't they trying to warn them about the upcoming assault?
I think
that the island was occupied by Japanese personnel.
The radio was destroyed by the old
guy. That's right.
By the old Japanese soldier with a gun, as Tony was trying to get it going.
Yeah.
And where does Tony know about working Japanese radios? That's interesting. I mean,
they're scientists. Remember, we're not
made in Japan.
We're scientists.
I guess made in Japan. Then
Nakamura decides to hunt them.
That's funny, but the choreography was very well done. The fight scenes.
This was a really tight. This was a really tight episode. I really enjoyed this one. I watched it twice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe the different directors. I think director Herschel Doherty did this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was
the tension, like the father and the son weren't in the same together era or whatnot. But you could still sense the tension all this time because he was like losing his mind. What I was trying to understand was the young Nakamura, did he fail to do his job because he chickened out? Or
he chickened out of it because he had been educated in the States and he had been there.
That's right. And he didn't, he valued life too much. That's right. His father said he valued life too much.
And he went to
What a hell of a thing to say. You value life too much. It's like, great, Dad.
And he went
they were hardcore though back then. They really were.
Yeah.
All into their tradition and their ritual.
That's for sure. For sure.
But they did take some kind of historical liberties. Do you guys just catch any? Or was it pretty Pacific campaign-ish to you?
I don't think there were too many scenes from other movies other than a couple of brief clips. What did you get?
Oh, they got, let me see. What did they use? Keep talking. I'm looking. I had it. Then I didn't.
Oh, okay. But it was tied all around. It was essentially the father.
Oh, they used Guadalcanal
feedback.
They used the Guadalcanal Diary, 1943. Crash died 1943. And they relied on movie-tone news footage and outtakes from Fox War Films.
Okay.
So that's where they got the transition shots.
But I think the tension was well maintained. You really felt sorry for the old guy because he was. At least I did.
Well, at least the old guy came around in the end, but he didn't care that his son was going to die. He said, "Oh, he's going to do the right thing finally and kill himself."
I'm talking about the old soldier. I'm talking about the old.
Oh, the old soldier. Yeah, he was kind of abstract. I mean, I thought he wasn't really a hostile.
Right.
Here he sees two Americans. It's like, here I am. Like they always are when they get to whatever location that they fall into. And I mean, he was just kind of laid back for someone.
And he helped Tony. He helped Tony with his leg. He had sprained.
Yeah, I was like, that was totally perplexing. It's just like, okay.
That was a good thing. Tony thought he broke his leg or ankle, and it was a bad sprain. That's a good diagnosis.
Doug is the one that's taken over most of the responsibility and taking care of Tony in this episode.
Yeah.
And Doug, of course, has his usual intellectual chat during feedback again.
Yeah, but they do a really good job with the choreography, the fight sequences in this. I love the fact that we get a grenade versus a gun. We get a
Can you
shoot.
hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we
I'm
get.
sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
What did he do?
see,
What did he do? Did he put? What did he put? Gunpowder in a pen, or what was that? I kept rolling it back, and I still couldn't.
for the when they
When
did
he
that
made his
duty.
own little grenades,
Oh, I think so. I
I
think
didn't
yeah. He
see him
put the,
make those, and
I
I
think he.
watched it.
I
I
thought he
think he.
got all those grenades out of the box
Yeah, he
in the
did,
Yeah.
storage
but he
room.
did something because he had already thrown most of them, or he used them to rig that tripwire. But
Yeah.
then he was throwing little
Yeah.
things full of, and it was blowing up. And it actually got Mako, so where it had some shrapnel on his leg. So, but I was just wondering because I was trying to figure out what those were because he was throwing like little mini bombs at him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's too many. Were there any bloopers really aside
I
from
didn't really see too many. I
no?
did. If there were, I didn't see them. They had their shit tight on this one. They did pretty good.
No,
They
this
arrive on
no.
the island. There's right before the battle, Iwo Jima. They attempt to
Well,
contact U.S. services. They
you
can't
always
do it.
know that. You always know that in the beginning they have a picture of the island
Hmm.
and the what you call it. I mean, you see that before the Krakatoa episode. You see that before the
Mhm.
Devil's Island episode. You see the same picture of the island. So they use that. I think they use that rather extensively during the series. But I mean, you have to have seen the episodes a number of times to realize it.
Well,
But
then
I
they
think,
were asked to sacrifice one of the guys to get the son back with the father,
Yeah.
and you're just like, well, that was like, oh shit, who are they going to leave behind? Just like I was wondering because I haven't seen all these before, so
well, I think that also, as I said, when Tony, I mean Doug, threw the hand grenade, and it injured uh, Mako's leg, and
yeah,
he was trying to tape it up while he was saying, "I know you, Joe. I got
yeah,
you. I got you now,
I
Joe.
know. You
You're
don't know.
dead, Joe. You
What he
think
told,
everything is good for you.
no
Nothing's good for
touchdown
you,
for you,
Joe.
Joe. No
Yeah.
touchdown.
You
Yeah,
want cookie? You want rice? You want
he was
cookies,
so good. I
Joe?
mean,
You
he was
want
fun
cookies
to
and
watch
milk,
him.
Joe?"
It was absolutely it was fun to watch Mako in this role. I mean, he
It
was so
was.
good.
It
And it was
was.
fun watching Doug, being stuck in I have to take care of everybody mode too. Doug is like,
Yeah.
well, they're both pretty smart. But in the beginning of the time tunnel, were they supposed to travel?
Through time?
Or was this they weren't supposed to be traveling, were they?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they had them in the beginning, going through that 1960s psychedelic time warp, and you had
Yeah.
the announcer from Lost in Space did all those voiceovers. Uh, Doug Phillips and Tony Newman are stranded helplessly. Another fantastic adventure in
They're
the
always struggling
time tunnel.
helplessly. They're
Yeah, that
always
was
helpless. I just think it's funny that nobody really says anything about their clothes. I mean, they're medieval times. It's like no one says shit about their clothes. It's like, come on.
what could I tell you? But I would give the episode. I'd give the episode a nine. A nine.
I
Only
would definitely
because
give it a 9.5, just because the confrontation between like who survives physically and more about Nakamura's conflicted honor, and his father's
Mhm.
conflicted honor, and
hmm
his loyalty to the empire versus his own personal grief. His father's grieving, but it's also futile, to the senses at this point for him. So I think a
and
major. Let's see. Oh yeah, he did. My husband, he's saying Mako also did. He was a major figure in the American acting. Then the Oscar and the
Yes.
Sand Pebble, 1966.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that Doug, Tony once again is emotional and is trying to do all the
Well, he was such a
emotional
girl in
stuff.
this one. Doug had to really pick up the slack
Doug
with it.
Doug was more, but again, Doug was more intellectual when he had to talk with Mako when Mako had taken the hand grenade, and Doug was trying to convince him that that it was just a matter of honor, and I forget the exact conversation, but he was really trying to talk to
He
his
wanted them to kill him because he
Yeah.
didn't
yeah,
want to have
yeah,
to
he
do it.
wanted them to kill him. He wanted them
He
to
kept
kill him.
setting that up the whole time, but they just, well, Doug didn't want to kill him. Remember, Doug goes,
Yeah.
I just can't
Doug
do
said
it.
you should go home, and he says, I have
Yeah, I
no
don't
home to
have a
go
home.
to. I have
Yeah.
no home to go to, and that's where it came out. And
I mean, how does one sign up to be a kamikaze pilot? Does one just say, hey, I think I'll just grow up to be a kamikaze pilot? It's more, I mean, is that
but
something they choose?
him also dressing in, he wanted to be killed by someone because him dressing in the white robes for the harikari,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was very easily seen by the guy who shot him
Yeah.
and killed him actually.
Well, he was
So
hoping Doug was going to, you know, do the honors. He didn't want to
and then of course as soon
kill
as
anybody. Really.
the father changed his mind pretty quickly when he saw that he put on the white robes, and he said, "Oh, now he knows what he has to do, so
Well,
you
Yeah.
can
Harry
take your
Carey doesn't
guys
sound
back."
like a lot of fun either. I could think of better ways to die, like sleeping pills or old age, something. But Harry Carey is really like it's very visceral. It's, it's like,
Well,
but they
anybody
would
who's
do
ever
it.
committed suicide will tell you all the various ways you can do it. And it's interesting that psychologists ask their patients, "Do you have a plan or something like that?" Well, there are all they have to do is go back to suicide cases, and there are a lot of plans they can pick. But
Harry
being a
Carey, I guess that
kamikaze,
was the noble thing to fall on your sword. You
but
know.
being a kamikaze is the honorable suicide. It's
Uh-huh.
kind of like the
Yeah,
Klingons, to die in
the
battle
Klingon.
and go to Stovacor. So
Yeah,
he
yeah, the
so
Klingons. Yeah, they're pretty wild too.
that
I forgot about the
would
Klingons and the Romulans.
that would have been fun if Worf showed up in the time tunnel.
Did the Romulans do that too? Romulans weren't quite Klingons, but did they? They didn't really have the same. They didn't really have the same cultural stuff going on though.
The same what?
Did the Romulans hate the Klingons?
Uh, they
I don't know why I
did,
just got on
but
that
they
tangent.
had to at one point work with each other
Right,
against the Dominion on Deep Space Nine. So
right.
you had Martok and Gowron and the Klingons and the Romulans. You had different people. They couldn't find anybody really. David Burney was in one episode and he was lousy. And then they had Adrian Barbeau in one episode of Deep Space Nine
Oh
as a
yeah.
Klingon. So, which I thought was pretty interesting. Hey, we're talking about all this because next year is the 60th anniversary of Star Trek. And
Yeah.
it's, I think the convention in Vegas is going to
And William
be,
Shatner's still going strong. God
I'd
love
like
him.
to go to that next year if I'm able to. I think that's going to be a
Well,
hell.
if you
They
go,
have,
I'll go.
you want to go?
That's awesome. Hey, I'm down.
Sharon wants to go. So three of us. So three of us. Take Scott. Does
He'd
Scott
go.
like Star Trek?
Yes. Oh my God, he's a total nerd. I have to turn it off. Seriously, it drives me nuts. It's like again, you know how that goes again. You know, when the wife comes in
Yeah.
again.
That's funny. That's
No,
funny.
but they had the black and white newsreel footage that was often intended to match the show's color.
Hmm.
It kind of made it look a little grainier in some of the transition shots. That was probably the only thing I saw wrong with it. They had the same standard uniforms and rifles that came from the Fox costume department from earlier war
Hmm.
pictures. The jungle setting, of course, Lost in Space, Voyage to the
Yeah.
Bottom of the Sea. The hand grenades and radios, Fox props were from recycled. Like he just recycled everything, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was. I thought it looked authentic, though.
Oh, I
Um,
thought it looked really good. I thought it was one of their better episodes. Like I said, I thought I totally enjoyed this one. I mean,
Absolutely,
it was just, it was, Mako was just an intense actor. I mean, they
he
just
was
really
great.
just were spot on with this. And the cast that they chose, it was just really good choices.
He was great, and he made the show. Uh, what number would you give the show, Jules? And what did you think of it?
This gets a straight 10. I mean, from the story to the psychology of it, it's great.
Hmm.
Um, Better episode than the last one.
Yeah,
Um,
I
Absolutely.
agree. Yeah,
Really, really good.
yeah. Mako made the show, and you'll see in the later episode that
He
Malachi
did. He
Throne
really
steals the
did.
show. We're not going to
He
talk about that
tested
yet,
for great things.
but he wasn't so great on the other one that he was on with Rudyard Kipling, I think. But he really steals it. But Malachi Throne really steals the show, and of course Carol O'Connor was
Yeah.
able to contribute his bit when we had that War of 1812 show. So this was a very good. This was these three Asian actors really contributed to the time tunnel, and it's a
They always
shame
put out,
that they had to
Asians
be
got some
used in
great
the
actors and
context
productions.
of a war where you immediately felt that they had to be there. They were the enemy.
Right.
And of course, with Star Trek, you had Sulu
Yeah.
that was more of a comradeship. But I'm rambling. I think it was good. Vicky, what would you give it again? What
Oh,
number
I
would
give
you
it
give it again?
9, 5, 10. Easy, easy. I thought it was an excellent episode. I really, truly enjoyed this episode.
Can't. Yeah, I couldn't hear the number. What was it?
Oh, like definitely a 9.5 to 10, easy for this
Mm-hmm.
episode. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was just well done. And like I said, the actors that they had incorporated into it, like Mako and the gentleman who played his father, just it was just
Philip on.
extraordinarily good.
Philip on.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he's also a famous. I think he was in the films of the '40s and the '50s and stuff like that. And he was also a pretty well seasoned actor.
Yeah, and Mako
Uh,
made the rounds during the '80s too, like Conan the Barbarian. He was the wizard at Conan. That's as soon as I saw him, like, the wizard from Conan.
that's surprising. Yeah, no, that's interesting. I haven't seen Conan in a million
Yeah, that's
years.
1980, 1981, I think. I
Yeah,
want to
that's why I
say.
haven't seen it. I haven't seen it since it first came out.
Well, it's
Uh,
when you go back and look at it, it's just like, well, Sandal Bergman, she's aged really well too. She's still beautiful, but I mean, it's fine. It's kind of fun watching it every once in a while. The other ones, well, who did they made one with? What's his face? Conan. They did a reboot with oh God, big tall.
Jason Momoa.
Yeah, I couldn't really get into that one too much.
Nobody
Maybe you
could.
guys should have given it more of a chance. What'd you think, Joel? Did you see it?
Yeah, nobody could get into that. It was just bad.
Okay, I was just wondering if it was just
It was
me. I
bad.
mean, but because he's great in everything else.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like at Fast and Furious, the last one. I'm still waiting for the second part of that 9 to come out, but he was like the Joker in that. You know,
Yeah.
he was just absolutely fantastic in that. But
Well, the
Wow.
the
I
guys who
can talk
did
about that today.
the guys who did Cobra Kai are about to make a huge mistake. They're going to do a shared universe of
I
of Night
saw that.
of
I
Knight
saw
Rider
that.
with Airwolf, and it's like no, 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 no.
I saw that. It's like, please don't do this because they left on such a high note. That was
Yeah,
a very extremely successful series. It's like,
yeah,
please don't do this. They're
yeah.
going
By the
to.
way, speak of the reboots, did you see something on Facebook that they were planning? I don't know if this is just rumor that they were planning reboots of Land of the Giants in the Time Tunnel,
I
and
saw Land of the Giants. I saw that they were thinking about doing a reboot of Land of the Giants.
they're doing a reboot of that. And Heather Young from Land of the Giants is in
Yeah.
the last episode of the Time Tunnel that we're going to see. It was an
Well, a couple
interesting.
of those actors go to Land of the Giants. I love Land of the Giants. I always talk about that. I just so thought it was real when I was a little girl. I really thought there was giants that poke you with pencils. Yeah.
Well, is anything? Oh, does Sophie have anything to say?
No, she left
Uh,
me because the husband has food.
oh, I think she gave the episode a 10.
Yeah,
Uh,
she did. She did. She liked it. She'll sit there
yeah,
and
she
watch back.
liked it. She definitely liked it. So next week we are having the first, as I call it, Lost in Space episode.
Oh,
I
next
shouldn't.
week is going to be very high for that episode.
Yeah,
I can't watch
yeah.
this one straight.
I shouldn't.
As soon as I saw it, I go, "Oh boy!" I'm just
Yeah.
wondering, you know. It
I
looks
mean,
interesting.
I shouldn't jinx it, but it's not one of my favorite. None of those episodes,
I
except
can
for
almost see. I went 5 minutes into it before I cut it off, and I go, "I bet you Tom's going to beat the piss out of this one."
that's for sure. Except for there's one episode that we're going to come to, and it's called Chase Through Time, and that was one of the best ones in the series, and that's the one with Robert Duvall. So
Oh,
that's
that's right. He
something.
does show up eventually.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, oh yeah,
that's
and
What did
no,
you binge the whole series, Jewel?
what's that? Oh, Jewel.
He binged it. I was staying true to form and not going further.
well. Here's the thing.
Y'all binge.
I had enough free time to binge it. Okay, because my kids went to school last week, so I had
Uh,
enough free time to binge it. So there you go. But
That's
I'm
like I binged Timeless.
still going
I
back
did.
watching these episodes. I will say that from a series standpoint, they had a lot of missed opportunities in this series.
yes,
They
And
all did. And it's that you
Yeah.
can
yes.
see that just with as far as I've gotten. There's so much more they could have done, but it's all hindsight, you know.
Yeah.
Sort of like Dark Shadows. There was still so much they could have done with that too. Hindsight. Like the very last episode.
Yeah.
I'll never get over that. I will never get over.
So you were able to binge the rest of the Time Tunnel?
Yeah, it's on Internet Archive, so
Oh yes.
Yeah.
so
Archive.org. That thing saves my bacon all the time when I can't find something.
That's for sure.
yeah.
That's for sure.
I'm going to be
It's a
reviewing
real
the
nice
Untouchables
service.
here. I'm going to be reviewing the Untouchables Wednesday. So
Oh,
the
that's
the
good.
movie,
The movie or the series?
Oh, the movie, not
the
the
movie, the
the
movie.
one
the
with
movie's
Elliot, the
awesome.
one with Robert Stack was unbelievable. Back in
You're talking about Sean
1960.
Connery and Kevin Costner.
Mhm.
Yeah, Robert De Niro. He handles that baseball bat quite dramatically in that movie.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Um,
Absolutely.
is there
So
anything you guys want to add before we go?
No, I'm good.
no, I'm good. So next Sunday, then hopefully for the Lost in
Yes.
Space episode, I think it's called Invaders from Outer Space or
Mhm.
something like that.
All I know is that they have that silver stuff on their face.
Yes.
Something like that. So next
That just
Sunday
got
at
to be
8.
toxic as hell. They made the Tin Man sick back in Wizard of Oz. Every time I see someone with all that silver on their face, I think of that, one thing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, you got your good ones and you got your clunkers, but
Yeah.
there are still some good ones left, and we'll
Uh,
be getting. And we'll be
Link to
getting.
link to the Literary License podcast will be in the description box. You can get Tom and Vickie on Facebook. Go send them a friend request. They're really nice folks. I'll see you guys Sunday for a new episode of the
Okay,
Time
son.
Tunnel.
Yeah, have a
Sunday
good
8.
evening.
Good
Yep.
seeing
Bye,
you
guys.
again. Have
Bye,
a good
guys.
night, all. Take care,
Bye-bye.
Vickie.
Bye.
Take care,
Thanks.
Jewel.